Hi guys, I'm Godzilla, and today I'm going to do my very first movie review on my channel, and I'm going to do it on the newest Godzilla vs. Kong movie that just came out yesterday as of this recording. I watched this movie 3 times, absolutely loved it the first time, and it kept getting better every single time. This movie is so fun to watch. It's just a great movie, all around good time, and the reason why I like it so much is because it's basically a remake, if you want to call it a remake. Not really, but in a way, a remake or rematch of the original King Kong vs. Godzilla from 1962. Now, if y'all know me, King Kong vs. Godzilla is one of my all-time favorite Showa films. Probably next to Godzilla vs. Gigan. They're both hard to pick. I love both of those movies. But anyway, this movie is just so fun to watch. And well, like I said, this is my first movie review, so yeah, give me some pointers in case I mess anything up. But anyway, here we go. This is going to be a spoiler review too, by the way. So if you haven't seen the movie, watch the movie first, then come back and watch my video on it. So yeah, basically, this is the fourth entry in the Monsterverse, following the hit movies Godzilla 2014, then Kong Skull Island, then Godzilla King of the Monsters, and this one. And this one comes right after Godzilla King of the Monsters, and it's a great movie. And basically, it's more about Kong in this movie than anything. And that's not a bad thing. I mean, I'm Team Godzilla, but when it comes to Kong, I like Kong too. And I love how Kong is depicted in this movie. You know, he's basic. It's all mostly about him, and I like how they kind of humanize his character. But they kind of humanized him anyway in Skull Island, but that's it makes sense because he's an ape. So, um, but I liked how like when he just it shows him waking up and he's just yawning, and then he gets up, scratches his ass. I thought that was hilarious. But yeah, and you feel sorry for Kong throughout this whole movie because he just wants to be home. We don't know what happened. Like, well, we kind of know what happened with Skull Island. Apparently, like the natives died, I guess, because of the storm or something, and Kong saved the little girl, and I guess the little girl's the only one that survived of the natives. Um, but they didn't really delve into that too much. This movie doesn't really delve into anything really too much. I mean, like a little bit, but it's more about like just getting from point A to point B in this movie, which just isn't a bad thing because the movie kind of goes in a way it gets you into this movie so much it goes so fast. It's like wow, it's really over, because it's so great. And I will say this: the fights don't bother me too much in the older movies, except like at least Kong Skull Island gave us really good fights when it comes to daytime scenes. But when it comes to the other Godzilla movies, they were really hard to see, especially the first 2014 movie. That was really hard to see the fights. When you they were amazing when they had them, but they were hard to see because they were all shot at night. And then King of the Monsters kind of did the same thing, but with like rain and storms. But this one here has some daytime scenes, and they're gorgeous. But to me, the best part of this whole movie, my favorite part of the whole movie, even though the first battle was amazing, the final battle between Godzilla and Kong in Hong Kong, that is the oh that is the best of this whole movie. I love that whole scene. This just that whole fight, both fights, I guess you could say. I guess there's kind of like a fight, and then they go to some human scenes, and then they cut back to the monsters. But anyway, I'm getting a little far ahead of myself. But we start off with Kong. We find out Kong's stuck on this in this place, and apparently they're doing it to protect him from Godzilla because if he's out of that place, apparently Godzilla will come after him because there can't be two alpha predators or two kings. So so we find out that they're doing it to protect him, and then we find out that Godzilla is attacking people, but we don't know why. So that's the mystery. Like the mystery is what turned Godzilla bad. He it says like he's our Titan savior, but like he's not our savior anymore. So what happened? That's the mystery. So we got the mystery between Kong, like taking him to some weird place called Hollow Earth, which is like another world. Um, I guess below ours in a sense, kind of like a Lost World type thing. If you ever seen the Lost World movies, almost like that, like another Earth, like below our Earth, which I love because it's kind of neat to have like another world and stuff, something like that, and that makes sense because I mean, this movie just so much like a show of Godzilla film. There's so many weird things happen like that, and that's what makes the show of films like that. So many weird things happened, and that's what made them so much fun to watch. And that's what happens in this movie, and we see this under this weird hollow earth world, and apparently Kong is from that world. But before we get to that part, they want to bring Kong there so that way they can find this energy source. Um, who these people from Apex, and that's the main story with Kong. We're trying to find out like where are they going. What's the main thing? What is going on? But then you got the other side with Team Godzilla, with Millie Bobby Brown, and I don't know who that kid is, but the kid from Deadpool who was Fire Fist, I think. Um, they're trying to figure out they're trying to figure out with that guy Bernie. I don't know I forgot his name too, the actor's name, but trying to figure out like what is provoking Godzilla. There's something wrong. Godzilla was their savior. There's something wrong. He's being provoked. He's being like he would normally attack people. So what's going on? That's their mission. So we got two different stories going on, and basically from what I and then it also they don't never mention this, which I from what I read on the internet, like the Japanese guy Ren's I think his name is Ren Sarazawa. He's the son of Dr. Sarazawa, but they never really mentioned that. And he's like a genius at computers and technology and stuff in this movie, but they don't ever mention like he's the son. Um, and I'm thinking he's doing it for revenge against Godzilla for killing his dad, even though he sacrificed his life to save Godzilla. But they never really delve into that, which I think they should have. But then again, they could have. It would have been almost somewhat like a, I don't know, kind of almost would have been like a revenge type movie. Maybe it's a good thing they didn't delve into that because then they would have taken away from the main focus, which was all we would want to see: Godzilla fighting Kong. And when we see it, it's amazing. The first fight when they fight out into the Tasman Sea, yeah, Tasman Sea, and Kong's on all these boats or these ships, and Godzilla's coming after him, and Godzilla tries to drown him. They fight on the aircraft carrier from what we've seen from the trailer. They duke it out. And then Godzilla tries to drown him, and basically the humans save his life. And I think without the humans, Godzilla would have killed him because Kong was, weak. And I mean, like, he was all hurt, and he was also sedated too because they kept him under sedation. So, yeah. And the little girl is like the main reason why Kong is doing all this because he trusts her. So he's basically listening to her, and she can communicate sign language with him. So that's why she's asking him to do all this, and he's doing it for her. So without her, Kong wouldn't be cooperating with them. And like I said, their main reason is going to this Hollow Earth to find this energy source, and uh, it kind of reminds me like a throwback of King Kong Escapes when Doctor Who wanted Kong to get this energy source element X for himself. And that's what kind of reminds me of a little bit. Like they're going down there for this power, but they're not saying what it's for, this power, but we don't find out till later. And when you do find out, oh man. But basically we get down to Hollow Earth. I'm kind of skipping ahead. different parts from I think where I left off. Yeah, I know after the first fight with Godzilla and Kong, which was amazing, and they kind of played dead, and Godzilla thought he killed him and stuff, so he just leaves him. Godzilla is so menacing in that scene. This is the way he looks like, yeah, I got you, I got your ass. but but when you get to Hollow Earth, it's weird. It's like all the gravities doesn't make any sense and stuff, and the weird creatures you see down there. The snake creatures, the warbats, or I think Nozukis. I think they're called warbats though, but I think their other name is Nozukis. Those things are actually pretty cool. They're like flying snakes, and uh, too bad we didn't get to see more of them. I mean, like in other, you know, like more screen time, but they do have some good screen time, and they look pretty amazing. And they do give Kong a run for his money, and I guess they taste pretty good too, because Kong was eating or drinking one of the heads liquids or whatever, the green liquids. But then when you get to see like Kong go down there to the earth and go to a place where apparently he lived or his ancestors lived, because there was an axe and it looks like it was made with a Godzilla spike, and then there's a throne, and I'm assuming that guess that's where the Kongs lived, I guess, or his ancestors. And from what I read, I think somewhere it might have been on the internet or it might have been in the movie. From what I remember, like they say that there was an ancient war between Kong and the Godzillas, and I think the Kongs won the war, and that's why the Godzillas aren't in Hollow Earth. Maybe that's why they're in our world, because maybe they kicked all the Godzillas out or something, and I guess that's why Godzilla is like king of our Earth, and then maybe the Kongs were king of Hollow Earth. So I guess that kind of makes sense. Two different realms, ruled by two different kings. So, that's pretty cool. And so then basically, what's after you get to that part and that point of time, the other side of the story with Millie Bobby Brown and her friends, you basically get like a little story with the skull crawler. Like they find like skull crawler egg while they search inside the Apex headquarters, and like what are they doing with baby skull crawlers or whatever. So then they somehow get transported to Hong Kong inside this weird tube thing, which I guess is a convenient way to say, hey, I guess we're going to Hong Kong, really fast. But then you find out why, and they're like in this big old giant open area. Then all of a sudden, the main villain, I guess you could say, or the hidden monster comes out. The one that was like nobody's supposed to be talking about. Mecha Godzilla shows up, and Mecha Godzilla in this movie is actually pretty cool. He looks to me like a combination of all three of the main Mecha Godzillas. He's a combination to me of the Showa Mecha Godzilla, a little bit of a combination of the Heisei Mecha Godzilla, and a little bit of the Millennium or the 2002-2003 Mecha Godzilla or Kiyu. Kind of a mix of all of them, except the arms kind of remind me of Kong arms. They look kind of big and long, and the hands they look like like a claw machine, like when you go to a like an arcade place or a store or something. You're trying to get those toys or those watches. It kind of reminds me of a claw machine. I don't kind of like the hands. I wish the hands were more I guess Godzilla-ish, but I guess that makes sense because when you actually see him fight, I guess, oh, okay, that makes sense. So whatever, just little tiny nitpick there. But anyway, and then he basically kills an adult skull crawler, and I guess that's why they're using the skull crawlers, because they're using it for tests to test out how strong Mecha Godzilla is. But the energy source they're using can't keep him powered up for long, so they can't utilize him to his full potential. And then that's when you find out that what they have done with Kevin, or the other King Ghidra head that was at the end of King of the Monsters, the end credits. You find out that they're using Kevin, or that King Ghidra head, to, I guess, in a way, power up Mecha Godzilla and use Ren Sarazawa to help control it as well with his brain, using those apex cybernetics they do. And so basically, Mechagodzilla is King Ghidorah or Kevin and Ren Sarazawa at the same time. Both they're all controlling each other. They're all part of one big thing. So yeah, Ren Sarazawa is, I guess you could say, the villain. Dr. Sarazawa's son is the villain in this movie. Even though he kind of doesn't seem like a villain, but I guess he is, mostly because, like I said, they don't delve into it. But he wants revenge on Godzilla. But basically, when we get to the main fight, that's the best part in the whole movie. The main Hong Kong fight, because there's like Godzilla was just beast in this part. But when he basically knew Kong got the axe and he could sense him, he just blows like a big old giant hole with his blast, his radiation, atomic blast down in the hole, creates a big old giant hole all the way down to Hollow Earth, and that's how Kong basically conveniently comes back to our world to fight Godzilla, which I thought was kind of neat. Like, oh, how are they going to go all the way back to Earth to fight Godzilla? Oh, never mind. That's I thought that was convenient, but then I thought that's so cool. You know, it's like that makes perfect sense. But yeah, basically the best part is the fight here, and the fight was amazing. Um, to see Godzilla move so fast in this fight, I was just like, whoa! Like the fights were just oh, both sides got really good hits in, but I just loved how Godzilla moved so fast and how he actually got on all fours and stuff. That was amazing. Like wow, you never seen him do all that stuff in the previous Godzilla films in the Monsterverse, but in this one he was just like all over the place. And yeah, we were teased. One will fall, and we got a winner. It was ultimately Godzilla. Godzilla basically pinned Kong with his foot and almost killed Kong. He was just dying slowly. And yeah, so I guess that's the winner. Godzilla won both times, the first fight and then the second fight. So Godzilla was definitely the winner. It makes sense because Godzilla lost the first fight in 1962 because King Kong officially won that fight. So it makes sense that King Kong, I guess, lost this one. So there you go. They're both in a way a draw for both films. But basically after that, then Godzilla shows up and he just beats the living shit out of Godzilla. Godzilla got his ass beat in this movie when he's fought Mecha Godzilla, and that's when like they want to revive Kong and help Kong out because they know he's dying. The little girl can feel his heartbeat, so they use those heat vehicles to revive him. You revive his heartbeat, and she's telling him like Godzilla's not the enemy. Mecha Godzilla is. And then I love Kong's like, expression, like he's just looking at Godzilla, like roaring at him, like no, no, f Godzilla. he this bastard tried to kill me, you know. But she's like, no, 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 it's true, you know. He's the Godzilla's the Mecha Godzilla's the enemy, you know. And then she's like, be careful. He's like, oh, okay, cool. So he basically fixes dislocated shoulder, and then he goes help Godzilla. And like I said, if it wasn't Godzilla got his ass beat, if it wasn't for Kong, Godzilla probably would have got killed because he almost did get killed. So then you get the team up that we all knew was gonna happen eventually. We just didn't know what the monster was until like we knew it was Mecha Godzilla at one point. But they team up against Mecha Godzilla. The fights were amazing. I loved how like they were kind of just I wouldn't say coordinated, but it would just look kind of neat how you had them both fighting together. And then near the end, Godzilla powers up King Kong's axe or whatever, and uh, basically Kong got the kill for that. He killed Mecha Godzilla, so he got the win for that. So basically, King Kong is the winner when it comes to that part, but Godzilla was the winner when it comes to their battle. So then you'd think they were going to fight again, but Godzilla's just like, like I think he just kind of roared at Kong like, "Hey, thanks for saving me, or thanks for helping me out." and Kong just kind of dropped his weapon, like, yeah, like we're, you know, no, just truce or whatever, no fighting. So Godzilla just walks away and swims away, and then you get to know where you get to see Kong go back to Hollow Earth and live in Hollow Earth. So then it's like, oh, okay, so they kind of left it open for more movies. Godzilla is the ruler of our world, Earth, and then Kong's the world of the Hollow Earth. So then I guess you could say that's how Kong gets his title, King Kong, which I thought was cool. So he's, he Godzilla. I guess you could say kind of Godzilla kind of let him live, even though Kong was dying at one point. But Godzilla probably like, I'll let you. Well, I don't want to fight no more. You saved me. Let's just call it truce. Just call it even. Blah blah blah. So yeah, I think the best part of this whole movie was that Hong Kong fight. I love that part. That was like I bet that was like the best part of the highlight of this movie. The lights were so beautiful, all the blues and pink colors, all the colors, the greens, so colorful, and then the fight was just amazing. How Kong was just trying to dodge Godzilla's heat ray all over the place, and Godzilla's just trying to blast him, and he gets a couple hits him with his blast, but it was just amazing. The fight was so fast paced, and it actually focused on the monsters instead of like going all the time to the humans, getting distracted by the humans. That's what I liked about it. Um, it focuses it on the fights and stuff, and the fights were amazing. The choreographed Godzilla was so fast. I love how he got on all fours. It was like biting and scratching. It was just it was amazing. So yeah, you could tell I like this movie a lot, and it's probably I don't know. There's just so many things I like about this movie compared to King of the Monsters. It's hard to pick which one I like more. It's going to be one of those ties again. Like, because I will say, King of the Monsters had better fights than not in the King of the Monsters. Godzilla vs Kong had better fights than King of the Monsters, but King of the Monsters had the better soundtrack. I love the music in King of the Monsters. How they had Kieran Fukube's Godzilla theme, and how they had the Mothra theme, and then how they brought back the Blue Oyster Cult's Go Godzilla song, their version of it. But then the music, it's okay in Godzilla vs Kong. It's just I don't know, it's just kind of missing something. I just wish they would have brought some of Kieran Fukube's music back. But hey, at least I guess you got to do one without the other, in a sense. I mean, it just would have made the movie a little bit more perfect for that if they actually had that music or those themes. But still, it was such a great movie, and I'd have to say it's probably I don't know. It's definitely in my top five. It really is in my top five. I think if I had to pick this one over King Kong vs. Godzilla, the original, I would like this one better. And my cousin was like, bullshit. And my cousin, yeah, he loves King Kong vs. Godzilla as much as me, and Godzilla vs. Guy again as well. That's probably why I like him so much. But he was like, he likes the original better. But then after seeing this movie, he could see why I like it so much. So yeah, it's basically a really good movie, and I would have to say 10 out of 10 for movies. I mean, it's perfect. It's not too perfect. I mean, there's some things that, you know, like I said, the music and some of the characters are okay, like not really like I just wish Dr. Serizawa and his assistant, I forgot her name, didn't die. I wish they were in this movie. That way then, cuz him and her were probably my favorite characters from the first two. I like those characters, and I didn't see why they had to die. I see why the reason was in King of the Monsters, but I didn't like how they did that because I like the character a lot, and I think it would have made more sense for him to come back in this movie. But I don't know. That's a nitpick there for human characters. I wish he would have come back, and the music obviously. But when it comes to King of the Monsters and Godzilla vs Kong, it's really hard to pick because there's so many things besides the music and besides the fights. King Ghidorah is so awesome in King of the Monsters. I just love him. He's my favorite incarnation of King Ghidorah. Um, I don't know. I'll just talk about this one. I'm mostly supposed to be talking about Godzilla vs Kong. I'll talk about. I think I'll do another video about what I think about all the MonsterVerse movies. So I'll save that for another video, like how I would rank them. That way I get more time to think about it. But I hope you guys enjoyed my review of Godzilla vs Kong. This is my very first movie review. Um, Sorry if I'm kind of like ramble or like all over the place. This is my very first review, and I'm not used to doing movie reviews, but I was encouraged to do this from my friends, and my buddy Brendan encouraged me to do this, so I'm like, I might as well, So there you go. Might as well do it because it's hot, it's fresh right now, and I saw it 3 times, and I'm probably gonna watch it. I probably watch by the time this video comes out on YouTube. I'll probably watch it way more than that, but yeah, it's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Whether you want to see it in theaters or see it on HBO Max, go watch it. It's a great, great, great movie. And I give it a 10 out of 10. So, yeah. Oh, these are my Walmart Godzilla figures. Just thought I'd do this for fun. So, yeah. Go check out this movie. It's a great movie. And until next time, everybody, take care and go Godzilla. Team Godzilla.